Hello, kids. Starting on a new lesson today. Will take us through this week and a little into next. So, we've worked on cells this whole time. Now, we're going to see what happens and basically, why we care. Okay. So, we're going to look at how living things, so animal cells, so like us and animals and everything else, and plants are organized. So, what happens when the cells um, start organizing and have different levels of organization? All right, so in this lesson, our goals are this. We are going to be able to define an organism. You might still remember how to do that from lesson 1 of life science. A word called specialization, meaning when you get really good at one thing, well, that happens in plants and animal cells too. Tissue, organ, and then organ system, and then 2 other words, structure and function. You'll be able to list the levels of cellular organization. Today, we're just looking at tissues. Later in the week, we'll go on up to organs and organ systems. We'll be able to look today, especially at animals' tissues and plant tissues. They're a little bit different, but they also have a similarity or two. And then organs and organ systems. And lastly, we're going to look at how organs and tissues serve the needs of living things as far as delivering nutrients and getting rid of waste. All right, couple quick standards. Cells carry on specific functions, and living systems at all levels of organization demonstrate the complementary, that means they work together, nature of structure and function. All right, let's look at these pre-lesson activities real quick. Your body has many organs, such as your heart, and can you think of another thing that would be called an organ? Well, your brain. All right, plants also have organs. One of them is a stem, and another would be their roots. And then plant and animal organs are organized into organ systems, much like you organize your homework in, what word could we put there? Folders. All right, let's look at this real quickly too. How is the structure or the job that a hammer does, or I'm sorry, let me back up. The structure, how the hammer is built, related to the job it does. Okay, well, the handle makes it easy to grip it, to swing it back and forth. The end that you pound with is heavy to push the nails through. And then the opposite end, the claw, can be used to remove nails. So it's built in order to help its job. All right. Again, we've been through this, but you need to really memorize this definition. An organism is a living thing that can carry out life's processes by itself. So back with lesson 1, if you remember when we went through prokaryotes and eukaryotes, a unicellular organism is made up of just one cell. And in that cell, all the functions necessary for life happen. So here, well, hold on. Unicellular organisms do not have levels of organization like plants and animals. So they need fewer resources to live and can survive in extreme environments. All right, this is really important. A disadvantage of a unicellular organism is that if the cell dies, of course, the entire organism dies because there's only one cell. There's an amoeba, which is unicellular, obviously magnified thousands and thousands and thousands of times. Paramecium and what's called a euglena. All right, now we're getting into things that apply more directly just to us. Multicellular organisms are larger in size, obviously, and have longer lifespans. However, multicellular organisms, eukaryotes, require more energy, and the cells are specialized. They have specific jobs, which means they depend on each other to perform the functions or jobs necessary for survival. So it's like a big team. All right, our main word for today is tissue. And this is a definition you're going to have to really know. A tissue is a group of similar cells, so alike cells, that perform a common function or job. Humans and many other animals are made up of 4 basic types of tissue, and you're going to need to know these. A couple of the words are a little hard, maybe. There's nervous tissue. That's next word is epithelial, then connective, and then muscle. We're going to look at each one of these specifically right now. All right. Nervous tissue functions or works as a messaging system within the body. So as you can tell, on the right is your brain, okay? So those cells combine to make tissue, and that is what sends messages throughout your body. So that is the nervous tissue. And we're going to look how those tissues are built later in the week, but they're very long and like stringy because they have to go throughout your body. All right, next we have that epithelial, okay? That tissue protects us, okay? The skin is the major one in epithelial tissue, okay? Then we have what's called connective tissue, and that is where the bones and the blood are. So as we get into organ systems later in the week, you'll hear circulatory system and skeletal system. The connective tissue is part of those. The connective tissue holds the body together, provides support, and it also, through the blood, gets the nourishment to all the organs. Then there's muscle tissue. Obviously, that allows us to move. Okay, and you can see the tissue on the left, a close-up. All right, so again, here are the 4 types of tissue: connective, epithelial, muscle, and nervous. All right, we are going to stop there for today. Make sure you answer the questions. You can have unlimited attempts at it if you want, and have a good day.